Hi guys, welcome you all to my channel Explore Edu to Teach.
So, hi guys, hope you all are doing fine. So, today we will be starting with another topic of control system after introduction topic that we had in the last video. Hope you have gone through it. If not, please go through the video. We have even attached the PDF also for the same beneath the video. So, please go through that and then you can start with this topic since there are certain terminologies included in this particular topic which will have a dependency over the previous topic. Even if you haven't watched it, don't worry, I'll try to include those basic terminologies even in this video as well. You can again find the PDF that I'm using for this particular video right in front of your screen in the part below the video. Please use that PDF, download it, it is for free, and use it for your own study. So starting with the block diagram reduction. So block diagram reduction is basically one of the diagrammatic ways of obtaining the transfer function of the system. When I talk about transfer function of the system, what is it? It is the Laplace transform of my output upon my input, that is C of S upon R of S, considering my initial conditions as 0. So my aim is going to be to get C of S upon R of S from the diagram given by reducing the diagram from a complex circuitry to a simple one. So how do you derive the basic formula for a simple closed loop system for a transfer function is here is what I've explained. So before going into the derivation, let's try to understand the diagram. The R of S, as I mentioned, is the Laplace transform of my reference input R of t. This is the summing point which I have mentioned. The summing point is basically used to do the algebraic addition of the two inputs given to it. So one summing point should have minimum two inputs. I repeat, it's a very important point. You will find this application later in the numericals. So please understand, a summing point will always have minimum two input or more than that. But if a summing point has only one input, that summing point is redundant, you can remove it from the block diagram. Next, you have g of s. G of s is basically the forward transfer function. You have h of s. H of s is basically the feedback element transfer function h of s. And the c of s, as I mentioned last time, it's the Laplace transform of my controlled output c of t. Your E of S, let us begin with the proof. The E of S, if you see, is basically R of S plus or minus B of S. It is clearly can be seen from the diagram. The B of S, which is there, is basically a product of C of S into H of S. Everything is evident from the diagram. The same thing is written in the form of steps. The C of S is basically the product of E of S into your G of S. So you can write E of S as C of S upon G of S. Now C of S upon G of S is equal to E of S. But what is my E of S? E of S is basically R of S plus or minus B of S. Hence my C of S upon G of S is equal to E of S, which is equal to R of S plus or minus B of S. The B of S can be further written as C of S into your H of S. I hope it is getting clear to you. The C of S upon G of S was equal to E of S. The E of S was equal to R of S plus B of S. And the B of S can be further broken down as C of S into H of S. Now, my C of S is equal to R of S plus or minus C of S into H of S, the whole into G of S. Now, my C of S minus plus, because this part, which you are able to see over here, is coming onto the left hand side. Hence, the plus is becoming minus, minus is becoming plus. So, C of S minus plus C of S into H of S into G of S is equal to R of S into your G of S. Again, my C of S can be taken as common. 1 minus plus of H of S into G of S is equal to R of S into G of S. And as I told you, My transfer function is my Laplace transform of my output upon input, that is C of S upon R of S. It is equal to G of S upon 1 minus plus G of S into H of S. This is the basis of the transfer function. Please imprint it into your mind because we are going to use these formulas multiple times. So whenever this diagram is given to you, it should quickly enlighten you. My C of S upon R of S is going to be my G of S upon 1 plus or minus G of S into H of S. That is my forward transfer function and my feedback transfer function. The plus or minus depends upon the sign given over here. If plus is given, you have to use minus. If minus is given, you have to use plus. Why is it so? It is clearly explained in the proof section. Kindly go through once or twice through it again. By downloading the PDF that I've attached, you will definitely understand it. Next, the block diagram rules. Let us go through these rules. Once when we do a numerical on it, I think you will be able to understand it very clearly. If you find the video a little faster, please pause, understand, and then move ahead. So you have R and X as the input. It's a summing point. It'll give R plus X. Again, R plus X is having minus Y. So it's R plus X minus Y. It's an algebraic addition. Now R1 and R2. So that is going to be R1 minus R2 being a summing point over here. That is going to be multiplied with a G1. That is R1 minus R2 into G1. Again, it's going to be plus with R3 because of a summing point over here. Therefore, R1 minus R2 into G1 plus R3. Talking about the blocks in series, they are all in series. There is no outward thing going from any of the branches. Hence, you can straight away say my C of C upon R is going to be G1 into G2 into G3. Similarly, blocks in parallel is going to have C upon R as G1 minus G2 minus G3 depending upon the sign. Shifting of summing point. Imagine you have a summing point over here. You need to push it on the left hand side. So it's going to be H3 by G3. Similarly, if you have a summing point on the left hand side, you have to push it to the right hand side. After a block, it's going to be H3 by G3 into G3. As I mentioned over here, you will again get back H3 itself. Again, the shifting of a takeoff point, you have a H3 over here. So it's going to be H3 by G3 when you move on the left hand side, and it's going to be H3 by G3 when you move it to the right hand side. It's going to be H3 by G3 into G3. So these are the rules. Please pause the video, note it down with the help of the PDF which I've attached, and learn it. Once you understand it, it's going to be easy for you. Similarly, the feedback of the system, this is already explained to you. If you look at this, you have R of S, you have G of S, you have C of S, you have H of S. So the C of S upon R of S is going to be G of S, that's the forward transfer function, upon 1 plus. When a minus is there, I told you use a plus. When a plus is there, you use a minus. G of S upon H of S. Here we have a plus, so we are using a minus. So these are the rules, right from the associative rule to the blocks in series, blocks in parallel, shifting of summing point, shifting of takeoff point, and the final feedback function. Okay, so now we are going to have numerical being solved. There are two numericals which I have solved over here on this concept. One of them is something that I'll be explaining to you. The other one, solution is there. You can practice it on your own. I'm sure you'll be able to get it. Both the numericals are solved in both university pattern and in the form of GATE exam. So understand both of them so that you can adopt those methodology according to the exam that you're appearing for. If it's a competitive exam, we have to be quicker. Hence, we need to have some shortcut. If it is a university exam, we have to do it with detailed steps. So try to understand it. I'm sure you'll understand it. Look at the diagram. Again, it's saying transfer function. So transfer function is C of S upon R of S. Let us start reducing the block diagram. If you see, I am applying the parallel block rule over here. What is it? It is G3 plus G4. If nothing is mentioned to you over here, it is simply a plus. The only difference in case of parallel and a transfer function is that in case of your parallel, you will find that all the arrows are moving in the same direction. Whereas in removing a transfer function, you will always have an arrow coming in the opposite direction. So here from this diagram, you had G3 plus G4 coming up. Next, we are applying a series block rule in which we have G1 into G2. Moving forward, if you see over here, we have a feedback mechanism G1, G2, H1. Hence, we have G1, G2 upon 1 plus G1, G2, H1. That is G1, G2 upon 1 plus is because we have a minus. We always use the opposite sign. G1, G2, H1. Again, you are going to multiply this series block rule, this into this. Again, you are going to have a feedback rule in which we are going to have this upon 1 plus this 1 minus, sorry, because we have a plus, this into this. I'll repeat again. Look at the diagram. We have G4 and G3 in the same direction. Hence, a parallel block rule can be applied. You can refer the rules over here. We have G3 plus G4. Since no sign is mentioned, we are assuming it as plus. Next, we have blocks in series. So, we have G1 into G2. G1, G2, H1 forms a feedback kind of system. Hence, we have G1, G2 upon 1 plus G1, G2, H1 because we have to use opposite sign of what feedback sign is there. Again, they are into series. Again, we are going to multiply this block with this block. Again, it's going to be a feedback system. Hence, this upon 1 minus because of plus this into this and try to find out the answer. This was the pattern of my university, but you cannot apply this pattern for a longer level exam like GATE or some competitive exam where you need to do the problem very quickly. So in that case, what we are going to have is, we have a simple formula for removing the transfer function wherein we have to be very quick with the solution. Please do not use this technique in the competitive, in a university exam. You might lose on certain marks for the steps. So you have C of S upon R of S as sum of all the forward paths upon 1 plus or minus loop. So whenever a block diagram is given to you, you have to find out the transfer function. Use a very simple formula for competitive exam to find out the transfer function. Sum of all the forward paths upon 1 plus or minus. If there's a plus, use minus. If there's a minus, use a plus of all the loops, of all the feedbacks which are available in the diagram. So if I have this diagram, if I don't want to do all the steps and I want to be really quick, I have to use the formula. What does the formula says? Sum of all the forward path. So sum of all the forward path is going to be, forward path is a path from R of S to my C of S. So it's going to be G1, G2, G3 and G1, G2, G4. If you see G1, G2, G3, G1, G2, G4. Others, if you see, are kind of feedbacks. So you cannot take that as a forward path. A forward path is a path which is going from the input towards the output. Hence, we have only two forward paths, that is G1, G2, G3 and G1, G2, G4. We cannot have other paths as forward paths because they are all feedback paths. They are all loops. Then the formula says upon 1 plus or minus all the loops. Now the loops which are going to be there are going to be this. One is this loop. So it's going to be 1 plus, because you are minus, you have to use a plus. G1, G2, H1. Then we are going to have G1, G2, G4, H2. And then we are going to have G1, G2, G3, H2. So if you are getting confused, please hold on the video. Refer the PDF given to you. You will be able to understand. So the formula which is there is sum of all the forward paths. That is my G1, G2, G3 plus G1, G2, G4 upon 1 plus or minus of all the loops. So 1 plus, because of this minus, G1, G2, H1, plus, then there's going to be a minus because we have a minus plus over here, G1, G2, G4, H2 minus G1, G2, G3, H2. So sum of all the forward paths upon 1 plus or minus all the loops. Then you have another sum mentioned over here. The same sum is solved in the university pattern, if you see, and also in the gate exam pattern. Whichever you prefer, try to understand that. And as I mentioned over here, kindly use some additional questions also. You'll get it anywhere. Use those questions, practice them in both the patterns so that when you're appearing for two different exams, you can do well in both the forms. Okay? If you have any doubts, please pause the video, see the PDF. I'm sure you'll be able to understand it. The next thing is the block diagram reduction for multiple inputs. As you saw over here, we had just a single input R. But what in sense if we have multiple inputs like R1, R2? So they have told you to determine the transfer function of C1 upon R1 and C1 upon R, C upon R2 from given block diagram using block diagram reduction techniques. So when you only find out C upon R1, by default, consider R1 as active and R2 as 0 for C upon R1. If you make R2 as 0, if you see the summing point will have only one input then. And I told you the summing point should minimum have two inputs at the start of the lecture. If there is only a single input to it, then that summing point is redundant. You can remove that summing point. Hence, I have written the summing point S2 will not exist now. Since R2 is 0, S2 will have only a single input and summing point must have at least two inputs to exist. Hence, I can straight away remove this summing point and reduce my block diagram to this. After removing this summing point, since we have to find out C upon R1. Rest is very simple. Just use the parallel block rule over here, G1 plus G2. Use the feedback rule over here, G3 upon 1 plus G3 into H1. Then C upon R1 will be simply the multiplication of both the things. Hence, you will get this answer. I hope you are very clear. Here, we are removing R2 because we have to find out only for R1. Since R2 is removed and my summing point has only one input, I can remove my summing point. This reduces to this. I use a parallel block rule. I use a feedback rule. I multiply them. I find out the answer. Simple. Next, I have to find out C upon R2. C upon R2. For this, by default, I'll be considering R2 as active and R1 as inactive, that is 0. So when my R1 is 0, eventually my C1 will be 0 because 0 into G1 plus G2 will be 0. And since my C1 is 0, it is like no input. My summing point S1 will have only one input. Hence, it is redundant. I can remove it off. Hence, I can reduce my diagram to something as this. A single summing point, R2. This minus will go to this summing point and it will get reduced as this. Again, it's a feedback rule. So, C upon R2 will be G3 upon 1 plus G3 into H1. That's it. So, I will just give you a recap. C upon R1, for that R2 has to be 0. If R2 is 0, my summing point remains with only one input. Remove of the summing point because summing point should have minimum two inputs. It gets reduced to this. Apply the parallel rule, G1 plus G2. Had it been minus over here, you would have used G2 minus G1. Then you have a feedback rule. Use this rule over here. Then you have this formula coming up. C upon R1 as this upon this. Then if R2 is active, R1 is 0. The C1 will turn out to be 0. Summing point can be removed again because it will have only one active input. It will reduce to this point, R2, G3, C, H1 negative feedback will come to this summing point, S2, and you can find out the final answer. So this is it from my side for block diagram reduction. The PDF will be attached. The video is uploaded. Please go through it. Please share it to as many as you can, because this is one of the most important topics